Hi, thanks for coming to my channel. This is Midnight Moon Tarot and I'm Diana. This reading is for the astrological sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, or anywhere in your birth chart that Aries might appear. Also, if you're new to my channel, I'd like to take just a second and invite you to subscribe and click that little bell so that you're sure to be notified whenever I upload new content. Also, in the description box below, you'll find links to my social media, my Patreon, my PayPal, and links to some really cool things on Amazon I think you guys will like. Okay, so this reading is for July 2020. Can you believe it's already July? All right, keep in mind that all tarot readings are timeless. So whether you come across this reading right after I upload, a week, month, or even a year from now, if you feel drawn to watch it, most likely you'll find a message for you within the reading. And if it doesn't completely resonate with you, just keep the parts that do, disregard the rest, switch the roles around, don't ever force it. But, if you know your other planetary placements, you can listen to your other signs as well for additional messages. Okay. So let's go ahead and calibrate these cards to the astrological sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And ask Spirit for any love messages for Aries for July 2020. Spirit, what love messages do you have for Aries for July 2020? Okay. Spirit, what love messages do you have for Aries for July 2020? And one more time. Okay. And I'm going to divide these into into three. I'm going to come up with four. All right. Now, let's see. The card on the bottom of the deck is the Strength card. Okay. Now, this card is going to be the overall energy for this reading. So as we go through this spread, I'm going to show you how this card is going to relate to the other cards that come up in your reading. And of course, the Strength card is talking about, taking control of the situation, digging deep within yourself and finding that inner strength and courage that sometimes we don't even know exists till we have to. Okay. All right. So yeah, that is your overall energy. All right. Now, for those of you who are new here, hello and thank you. I'm going to put out 4 rows here. The first row has to do with you, what you have recently been going through, things that are currently happening in your life, and things, situations, and people that are coming towards you. Okay. The second row is the same thing, only it's your twin flame, your soulmate, your karmic partner, your divine counterpart. This could be an ex that you still feel really drawn to and connected to, that maybe you want a reconciliation with or something, or it could be somebody that you just met. And either way, it's usually the person that you're thinking of the most, the person that you're thinking of when you wake up in the morning, and the last person you're thinking of when you go to sleep at night. All right, that third column has to do with your obstacles and challenges, fears and anxieties, blockages, that type thing. And that fourth column is your outcome. All right, so here we go. Now, I've just laid out 2 cards in each row, so I'm going to do that 2 more times for a grand total of 24 cards. So by the time we get to the end of the reading, we have a pretty good idea about what's going on. So you have the Sun, and we have the Ace of Wands. So yeah, we have a lot of really dynamic energy coming in. We have Leo season coming up. We have this Ace of Wands. This is all about that new growth. It's about opportunities that are presenting themselves to. It's about being passionate and sensual. It's about all of those things that go along with summertime, fertility, and new growth. And what you're seeing here is, we've all been kind of in a state of dormancy lately, and you're going to find that, after that, just like seasons change and everything else changes, you're going to have a sudden burst of growth in your life, whether it's, jobs, career, a new romance, whatever. Something new is happening in your life. Wow, okay, so yeah, that just I feel the energy so much that it's, you know, sometimes it can be very overwhelming for me. If any of you are empaths or intuitive readers, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So with your partner, we have that King of Swords energy as well as the Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, your partner very possibly could be an air sign. You see how she is focused on this little bird representing the air, and you have this King of Swords, and of course he represents air. The King of Swords is like someone that is able to separate the wheat from the chaff, however you said that, but they can separate the facts from what fantasy they might have going on in their head. They can use their head over their heart when they are making these decisions about what is actually going on. And you are viewing this person, you know, all googly-eyed and fascinated by this person. You may find that, you know, this person makes you feel as if they offer you just a little bit of that stability, and you are, you know, planting your garden, so to speak, in hopes that it will come to fruition with this person. A lot of times, you know, where Aries, you can be very impulsive and passionate about something and just jump right into everything. Your air person, this would be Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, is going to be somebody that, especially this King of Swords, this is going to be somebody that's going to bring you back down to earth just a little bit. It's like, okay, you know, all that's great, but let's look at the facts here, okay? Now, when you get to your obstacles and challenges, again, you know, you have this feeling that, you know, you would love to have this happily ever after situation. And at the same time, you're feeling a little guarded. Perhaps you were hurt before in your past, and, you know, you're just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, because this relationship is almost where it feels like, you know, it's a too good to be true situation here. I'm sorry, I've got a little itch. I was out in the sun the other day and I got a sunburn. All right, now it's itchy. All right, so yeah, we have this feeling of feeling guarded, and you know, it's like you're enjoying it. You're fascinated by this new person, and at the same time, you're like, okay, what's going to be the downside to this? What's going to keep this from happening? What is this about? Well, you know, in your first row, you had all this new growth and you had this passion about it. So, you know, there might not actually be a downside to this relationship. So you're going to feel, this is your outcome, you're going to feel, you know, like you really need to just get back to the basics and focus on yourself and your growth. You may feel like you're kind of stuck here, like you've rushed into this, you've rushed into this situation, you know, with all this passion. Okay, all right, and now you might have done it so much without thinking. And this is probably the reason why you were feeling guarded, so to speak. Okay, and this King of Swords, this might actually, according to how this reading is going, this might actually be you. This may be you thinking, oh wow, this is the perfect relationship, and just jumping head first into it. And when you jump off that cliff, well, you find yourself tangled up and hung there. Okay, and this is why you've been feeling defensive and wondering like what could go wrong. Sometimes things can be a little too perfect. So, you know, take that time to step back from the situation, you know, continue working on yourself and let things grow slowly, more organically. Let them happen. Don't try to force them. And I know that, you know, you really have this passion for this person and for this new relationship. It can be very, very exciting, but at the same time, you're going to have to draw on that inner strength to keep yourself from charging in too fast and end up, you know, having your heart broken or being stuck. Like, you know, like that hangman, yeah. Like, what have you gotten yourself into, kind of a feeling, that kind of thing. This feels like a person that, you know, presents a very strong public facade, and at the same time, behind closed doors, there may be some little weird things going on there, and you're like, okay. Now, in your column, we have the Magician. Hang on. And we have the Four of Cups. And so for your partner, we have the Justice card as well as the Eight of Swords. All right, I'm going to just reach in, and this is the Five of Wands in your fears and anxieties, and the Chariot. And we have the King of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. This Six of Pentacles seems to be showing up in a lot of readings right now. It must be like all this sense of entitlement that everybody seems to be thinking everybody else has these days, you know, where, you know, you feel like you're just giving and giving and giving, and they're just taking and taking and taking, never taking into account sometimes the sacrifice that we make in order to do that. You're finding yourself, you know, kind of bored emotionally, where this person might have seemed very exciting and such to you at the beginning of the relationship when you were all ready to, you know, have that new growth and jump right in. It's just not what you want. You have this feeling of dissatisfaction. So, you know, in the back of your mind, you're here enjoying this for now, but it doesn't really feel like anything's permanent. It feels more just like it's a summer fling kind of thing. And, you know, you're still continuing to manifest this deep connection, deep etheric type love into your life. This definitely just feels like some kind of little summer fling, some kind of like 50 Shades of Grey kind of thing going on, you know, just a little fling. All right. So yeah, speaking of 50 Shades of Grey, here she is all tied up. She feels like she can't get out. It's a lot like that hangman you had earlier, the situation you got yourself into. Yeah. And you're like, what do I do? How do I get out of this? And this is where you're going to have to, you know, use your judgment again, and, you know, decide to, you know, exit, develop your exit strategy, and figure out, you know, is this something I really want to be involved with forever? Or is it just something I'm here to experience for the time being? Okay. Yeah, because, you know, when we have this this Eight of Swords here, especially with the Justice card. Okay, well, the Eight of Swords talks about a jail cell. Okay, most of the time it's talking about a mental prison that we have that keeps us from moving forward or doing things because we're kind of a chicken. You know, we don't want to be, sometimes we're scared to move forward. Sometimes our phobias and things like that keep us from doing things we would actually love to do. But when you have it combined with this Justice card here, there could be some maybe legal things going on here. And I don't know really how that would come about, you know. Yeah, unless this is, you know, maybe somebody that, you know, has some kind of other thing going on that you might end up finding yourself tangled up in if you stick around. All right, so you got to be cautious. You have to make sure you have a pretty good idea of who people are before you really get that seriously involved with them, because, you know, you can end up getting stuck there, and, you know, you won't have that growth. It'll interrupt that manifestation of that Ten of Cups that you want in your life. And you really and truly have to be careful of those things. All right, so in your obstacles and challenges, well, we have this Five of Wands, which talks about those petty arguments and jealousies and you know, name calling. And these really aren't significant things that you should be having arguments and disagreements and feelings like that about. They're more something where, you know, you left the cap off the toothpaste again, you left the toilet seat up. These aren't significant in the big scheme of life, okay? If you love the person, you want to be with that person or whatever, these things really don't matter. When you're not that attached to that person, these things can really get on your nerves. And where, you know, you were hoping that this relationship, when you charged into it, would go pretty quickly and like bring you in all new directions and stuff. But you see these little sphinxes right here are sitting still. So you thought you were having all this forward growth and, you know, hoping to move forward into the future. It's just not going. It's not going. This is somebody, you know, enjoy your time that you had with them, that you spent with them, and, you know, just, that's it. You're just not, you're not having, you're not having the growth that you thought you would have with this person. And most of the time when you try to, you know, talk these things out with them, when you try to get into these new situations with them, it's just not going the way you thought it was going to go. And you're just, like that Four of Cups, you're just bored. I'm just getting this feeling of, what am I doing? Why am I here? Why have I put myself in this situation? And of course, right here, King of Wands, he's all about being a playboy, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. There's no gender in the tarot. It's that passion, that sexual attraction that drew you to this person, and you thought that it would lead into something more. You thought it would be more, you know, of course there has to be that chemistry, but at the same time there has to be more than just sexual attraction in a relationship, especially when you feel like you are the one that's putting all the effort into you know, moving forward in this new growth that you want to happen, and it's just not happening. They're just taking and taking and taking from you, and you're not seeing any type of a romantic development happening. It's staying stuck in the passion department. Basically, they're there just for the sex. Like I said, it's a summer fling. All right, so we have one more set of cards here. We have the Five of Pentacles as well as the Knight of Cups. Your partner, we have the Eight of Cups as well as the King of Pentacles. And your obstacles and challenges, we have Seven of Wands as well as the Page of Wands. And in your outcome, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Devil. Yeah, I saw that coming. All right, so here we go. So yeah, you want this love. You're trying to manifest this perfect new love into your life. You want it so bad that you're mistaking, you know, superficial attraction for that deep, meaningful relationship that you have. This is the time that, you know, you realize that you've made that mistake. You feel kind of unwanted. You feel, you know, like you're being used. You feel like, you know, it might hurt your feelings a little bit. You might feel a little broken about it. You might feel a little left out, especially if this partner, this love interest is having other love interests going on, you know. Yeah. All right. So here we go. This is where you kind of pull your big girl panties up and walk away. You know it's not good for you. Okay, it was fun while it was lasted. I experienced these things, and you know, now what I'm doing is I'm going to just move on. I'm going to go in pursuit of somebody who is more stable, who is more grounding, somebody that does have the same goals and principles that we do. And you know, we have this eclipse that's coming up on July 5th, and you know, that's going to shed light on things and make it where you know, all the things that should happen are going to happen. If you're with the wrong person, this is when you kind of relationships are tending to end. And if you are with someone who's right, this is when they feel more cemented, and you have that deeper connection, but you're not feeling it and you're walking away. Okay, so in your obstacles and challenges, what do we have here? We have that Page of Wands as well as the Five of Wands. And you know, you feel kind of defensive. You feel like, you know, when you tell this person, no, I really don't want to do that, you find yourself not wanting to rock the boat. This is when you need to draw on that strength and speak up about what it is exactly that you want. And if it's not what you want, if that's not the lifestyle that you want to be living, if that's not the thing that you want going on in your life on a permanent situation, okay, where you are one of many to this person, this is where you need to speak up. Because if you don't, you will get those trauma bonds, and you will get those soul ties, and you will start to feel resentful, okay? And it's just never a good situation if that's not what you're into. Now, there's plenty of people, there's all kinds of lifestyles, and it may be perfect for some people, but I have the feeling here that, especially with you, Aries, that that's not the case here. That's not what you want. So you are recognizing that, you know, this person was pretty toxic for you in the long run. But you did have your little time there. You did enjoy those lustful feelings. You did enjoy that passion and stuff. But you've come to the realization that, you know, you do want something that is more, you know, stable, romantic, loyal, and you're going to be able to speak up about this, all right, and then continue with that. I'm just going to pull one or two more cards here because it's kind of leaving us hanging. All right, I'm just going to reach in and grab one randomly. Okay, so yeah, here's that Three of Wands. And you know, when you're manifesting, you put that energy out. When you have that Magician card at the beginning of your reading, you put that energy out into the universe. It always comes back to you. Now, whether it is bad or good energy, you have to be careful not to be thinking about the things that you don't want, because if you're thinking about things you don't want, that's exactly what you're going to get. You have to think about the things you do want. You have to claim them as if they have already happened, as if it already belongs to you. Okay? And one more final card here. Let's see what this is. All right. So yeah, Page of Pentacles. Yeah, you do. You're working towards and moving towards that King of Pentacles situation. You want somebody that is loving and strong and you know, sensual and artistic and all of the things that go along with an earth sign person. Okay, yeah. So this is something where, you know, now you know when you get into relationships not to rush headlong in, jumping into things and ended up getting in that hangman situation where you feel like you can't get out of it. Just take your time. Get to know people before you find yourself so deeply tied up with them, so to speak. Okay. I love you, Aries, and I want to tell you guys thank you so much for all of your comments, likes, shares, and subscribes. And I really, really appreciate all of you so much. And the growth of my channel is very important to me, and I really enjoy getting to know each one of you and building this little community here. It's like we're a little family. You guys always write to me in my messages and on my social media, and I'm getting to know a lot of you, and I just want you to know that I appreciate you. Okay, bye-bye. I love you.